presenting Benny Goodman and his orchestra.
Morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? It's a little smaller. Morning, Larry. Hey, Daddy, Karen. Hey, Bob. Hey, Gabagoo on YouTube, and Liz on YouTube. Hey, Ashley and Martin. Morning, Kelly. Yes, it took a lot of scrolling to find out exactly what day the first one was.
And that was Benny Goodman's tuneful invitation, Let's Dance. And we advise you
trying to scroll through the videos on Facebook is a real pain in the butt. You can't sort them by earliest.
In Chicago, the first tune, Farewell Blue.
Yeah, it turned out the first one was March 16th. Started to do virtual tours to avoid COVID. And here it is, 3 years later with COVID. I don't know, I haven't tested, I might be over it now. I'm pretty close anyway. I feel fine in any case. Hey, Taro. Hey, Becky. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Caesar and Carolina in Poland. Hey, Timothy. Hey, here's Mr. Miles. Hey, Eileen. All right, Bob. I've always generally thought of the 28th, the day we did the first full-length one, as the anniversary. But this works. We wanted to have anniversaries twice. That's fine by me, too. Hey, Susan. Hey, Sarah. Hey, Eileen. Yeah, the allergies don't help. I'm going in for the shot today. I gave them the heads up. They said if it's been 5 days since a positive test, and I don't have a fever, as long as I mask up, I'm fine to come in and get the shot. I'm like, okay. For 3 years, I barely missed a day. Kathy, yeah, I did catch most of Layla's tour yesterday. That theater in Costa Rica. Very cool. I'm feeling pretty good. In the morning, I hack up a bunch of gunk, but it's a little bit less gunk every day. Now I just got this guy.
And that's just a polished idea of what we may expect during the ensuing 30 minutes.
And this is the 3-year anniversary of Morning Mini Tours. The first one was March 16th. It was also the day that I refunded all of the upcoming in-person tours. The day that all of my school groups canceled. Oh yeah, Bob, I'm still mostly just hanging around the house. Hey, Grandma Bell. Miles is just being very friendly this morning, but also avoiding the camera. Now, Karen, you're younger than I am. Give it just another minute for everybody to get on. Is it going to rain today? Well, Miles has been very cuddly today. I went out to sit on the back porch and he hopped into the pantry window and was rubbing against it. Hey, Ginger. Now, Kathy, glad you liked the Patreon stuff today. Patreon started just about exactly 3 years ago as well, as all of my school groups canceled, and I had to refund all of the upcoming stuff. and was looking at a year of no income. Good morning, everybody. Tonight we have got a full-length virtual H.H. Holmes tour. Hey, Ash. I just went back through and trying to get the dates. We're trying to find out an old video on Facebook. You have to scroll back about like 3 at a time, then it'll load another 6, then another 6, then another 6. It took me about an hour to scroll back and find out when the first one was.
And give Benny like Stompin' at the Savoy and listen to what he can do with it. Just listen to Stompin' at the Savoy.
Yep, Thursday tonight. Next Thursday is going to be a surprise tours. I don't know what I'm going to do or what the schedule is, but we'll do something. And possibly including the Dead Ringers. But all right, everybody, welcome along once again to another morning mini tour. Working from home today because I thought I would use today to promote tonight's tour. Tonight, we are going to be talking about H.H. Holmes, the true history of the White City Devil. Of course, I've been talking about this guy for years. I've been running walking tours about him for years. Published a book about him that's about this thick, having gone through tons and tons of his records. So today, what we'll do for the mini tour is I'll just kind of show you guys some of the cool stuff that I found in the archives. Now, he's been in the news just a little bit lately because it was announced that the planned Devil in the White City miniseries on Hulu is now dead. They're still shopping for new networks for it. No, I have not been contacted to work on it. I don't really think they want me involved in this. I'll just be the guy saying, nope, there was no hotel. Nope, there's no acid pit, not really. No, definitely not Jack the Ripper, etc., etc. But my research spent years and years of digging through old boxes of crumbling Victorian paperwork like this. This one we can see there's... This is somebody suing one of his lawyers. I just pulled some of those just to see if it turned out to be him. You can see Mudgett versus Mudgett, his attempt at getting a divorce, or at least make it look like he was trying to get one. We got Quinlan versus Badenoch. That was when Patrick Quinlan, the janitor at the Castle building, tried to sue the Chicago Herald Company and Chief Badenoch for pretty much wrecking his life that summer. Personally, I think he probably should have won. But all right, so... Now and then in these places, you do find stuff like this is a sample of Holmes's handwriting. This is some bookkeeping that he did, in fact. One of his victims was a woman by the name of Julia Connor. Now, Julia, what he did was he lured her away from her husband, who he continued swindling off and on. And kind of the deal he had with her is he got her working as a bookkeeper. And while working as a bookkeeper, he just said... something along the lines of, well, instead of paying you, why don't you just buy into the company, and then you'll be a part owner, and then you'll make money. Something like that. This is thing was included in one of the lawsuits showing her payments made, like $500, March 31st, 13th, 1891, received $67.98 as interest, received as part payment, written these offended dollars, $300. This has got his signature on there 3 times. That's pretty good. This is the Chicago Mail in the microfilm room. This is one of my favorite drawings of the Castle building because I think it's the main one that shows it what it really looked like. They tend to draw it as like this grand building. It really was not. It was kind of a rickety old thing that a strong wind might have knocked over. Here's also, this is Holmes's death certificate. Hanging according to law, cause of death. Age 35. Herman W. Mudgett, alias H.H. Holmes. I do see people's various different aliases come up on the death certificate now and then. There's also the doctor in charge, Benjamin Butcher. What a name for a doctor. Look, some other stuff here. This is in one of the lawsuit paperworks. This is a copy of the legal record in which Holmes and his wife, Myrta, one of his wives, transferred ownership of the castle building on 63rd Street to Murda's mother, Holmes' mother-in-law. Holmes was almost never the actual holder of the building. For most of the time, especially starting here in August when it was just starting to get built. This would be, August of 1887. This is right when construction started. They transferred all of the ownership of the land over to Lucy, his mother-in-law. She was generally the owner of the building for most of the time. And this is always how they describe it, like the west 45 feet of the east 78 feet, lot of 2, and blah, 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 blah. The side here, Murda Z. Holmes. Myrtle is actually Murda, but went by Myrtle here, Z. Holmes, and Harry H. Holmes. The Z stood for Zoutique. I've only got one document that says that. Now here's from about a year later, accepting services for the lawyer in one of the many, many lawsuits related to this. This, accepting services, this has got both Holmes' signature there and Lucy's signature, his mother-in-law. Because she always got roped into the lawsuits. The whole point of having her be the owner was so the lawsuits were really against her. She was known to have mixed feelings about H.H. Holmes. He did make a remark once when he was showing off that there was the vault in his place was soundproof. He said, I wish I could put my mother-in-law into there when she has one of her fits. And Murda was his second wife. After he had left Clara back in New Hampshire, drifted around Minneapolis for a while, met her, and she was the one who lived with him in the castle building. And then eventually moved up to Wilmette. Here's another. There's a lot of these in the legal archives, promissory notes. And this is a promise to pay to William Green, a cement dealer who operated out of the Rookery building, who invested some in the ABC Copier Company that Holmes was operating out of the Manon building on Dearborn, what is now Congress, right where Congress would go through Dearborn today. This is a Harry H. Holmes per Wharton Plummer, the vice president, who also happened to be H.H. Holmes's lawyer. And probably the biggest find in all of it was this big unfolded diagram of the first floor front. This is the architect's diagram of the castle building. And I've shown this one many, many times. It was just such a cool find, especially to have it right up there, H.H. Holmes, 63rd and Wallace. Now, the building was a real place. It was just never a hotel. Nor did it have more ways to kill people than anybody else's house would, really. It's kind of a sobering thing that you could make a murder castle out of the things you find at home. This is a promissory note written by Julia. I promise to pay to the order of H.H. Holmes $1,000, $1,900, payable back to the Bank of Englewood. And there's her signature down there, J.L. Connor. This would have been, September 13th, 1890, so over a year before she disappeared. She was involved in this place for quite a long time. There is a divorce file in the index at the legal archives between Ned and Julia for their divorce, but I asked them to look for it 3 times. They couldn't find it and eventually told me to stop asking. There's a little summons. This is a cool one to find, too. This is the signature there is M.R. Williams, secretary. That would be Minnie Williams, one of his other victims. Probably one of his most famous victims. Minnie doesn't fit in with the rest of the story of everybody else. Everything about her is just weird. People have different opinions on what she was like. I definitely get the impression she knew more of what was going on than anybody else did. I kind of get the idea that she was trying to swindle Holmes, thinking that she was going to get his money and use it to relaunch her theatrical career. Generally said by people who knew her that they were surprised that she had taken up with a man at all. She didn't seem to like them much. But this is a lawsuit with Henry Darrow, who ran the cigar shop down on the first floor of the castle building. And during the police investigation of it, actually became a tour guide and was showing people around it for money. There were plans to turn it into a tourist attraction when it caught fire, but it actually already was functioning as one. And one other promissory note. This is, Another $1,000, and I think he actually borrowed about $3,000 from M.B. Lawrence, a doctor who lived on the second floor. They had come to Dr. Lawrence and said, "So here's what we're going to do. We're going to add a third floor, and it's going to be a hotel space. You should invest." And he did. He invested about $3,000 and ended up suing because he never saw a nickel of that back. But those are just a few treasures from the archives of the H.H. Holmes stuff. So tonight at 8 p.m., we will be doing a full-length H.H. Holmes presentation. It's been a while since I did the Holmes talk. I think I last did it I did it on Effing a while ago. But I last did it here in Mysterious Chicago, like back in May. It's been almost a year now, considering this is usually our biggest seller. But all right, everybody. So thanks a lot for joining me. I hope I will see you all back tonight. Today once again marks 3 years of an anniversary since our very first virtual morning mini tour, and since then we've been here just about every day. So thanks a lot for all of you who've been joining me all of this time, all of you who have joined the Patreon or hit me up on Venmo especially. It's helped keep the lights on this entire time as work got really slow and strange. But thanks a lot for joining. I'm Adam from Mysterious Chicago Tours, telling everybody to stay safe and stay strong. And of course, if you can, ladies and gentlemen, until tonight, shouldn't be too hard, at least until tonight, to stay spooky, everybody. Have a great day.